speaker and coach, syndicated columnist, and MC extraordinaire, Terry Brock.
Some sound there. Well, good afternoon, and it is great to be with you now, not as MC. Did you like my fill-in MC? I think she's pretty cute. Yeah, a great job on that. Thank you. But now I am so excited to talk about what I normally do, and that's being an entrepreneur and being able to get all kinds of wonderful things happening in your life. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to be able to show you some of the things that I do on a regular basis. Here's we sign into the computer and go forward to this and show you specifically what's going on today with technology, how it's working, and the kinds of things that are happening. So we're going to pull this up here. I'm using my, my very own computer here, my Mac, so I can show you some of the slides and the kind of information that's available. What we want to talk about today is a book based on a book that I saw that really helped me and changed my life. Some of you are probably familiar with that, and that is a book that helped me to understand how do you live life in a world when it's kind of crazy and wacky. Are we getting that up there? Yeah, it is. How I Found Freedom in an Unfree World. How many of you read that book by Harry Brown? Marvelous book, and I think we now have the opportunity to live the life of our dreams if we do it right. And I want to show you some examples of some of the things that I'm doing, and I want to get your feedback and get your questions answered, showing you what to do. As a matter of fact, we noticed that one there with George Foreman. That's actually me when I introduced George Foreman just a few months ago at Freedom Fest in Las Vegas and got a chance to get to know him. And the book, this is the one I recommend. You want to write this down. This is a book you want to get. It has changed my life. I have read it many times, and even though it was written back in the 70s, Harry Brown nailed it for today, for the late 2010s and the 2020s and on beyond that. This is how you do it. You live your life in a certain way, and I think you can do a lot. For me, I've been able to have a wonderful life, a lot of good things happening. I'm a syndicated columnist with business journals. We have 43 papers coast to coast and about 11 million readers every month. As Gina mentioned, Hall of Fame speaker, marketing coach. Skype asked me to be their chief enterprise blogger a while back. So I got a chance to work with them and to understand, okay, here's what's going on and here's how you can use this, and worked with AT&T. But here's what we're going to cover today for you. I'm going to look at our world today and the kind of things that are happening, along with some of the challenges that we have, particularly the opportunities that are out there, and use my lifestyle as an example of what you're going to be able to do. And here's something I really want to focus on to help you. Some of the latest cutting-edge technologies, things that are out there like, how many of you have heard of Facebook Live? Facebook Live, oh yeah, how many of you have heard of Blue Jeans with that? And using Zoom with that. Okay, here's some ways you can get a competitive advantage. A lot of people have heard of Facebook Live. It is hot. One of the hottest tools out there for marketing what you're doing. But when you combine it with those other tools, you get a decisive advantage over what a lot of the other kids are doing. And then creating the ideal lifestyle that you want. That's what we're going to focus on. I love this quote here from Plabius Cyrus. Would you have a great empire? Then rule over yourself. And I like what Thomas Paine said. The world is my country, all mankind are my brethren, and to do good is my religion. How many of you resonate with that? Yeah, I think that's the key. That's what we've got here. Look, we've got people from many, many countries around the world. And I love Lieberland. Sounds like a good place to be. What do you think? Yeah, that might be where a lot of us are from in a way. And I think that's the key. We don't put all our eggs in one country. Today, you put a little bit here, a little bit there, and you get from here, because no matter, I hear so many times freedom-loving people say, okay, what's the best country to go to? Terry, where would you go? I've been in 37 countries around the world, different places, and it's not like we say, well, you need to go to this one because this is great. There's going to be challenges wherever you go. Now, this one might be better than that one in a couple areas and better than these others, but these others might be better there. So I think what you want to look at is the world as your country. That's how you'll do it. When we look at our world today, it can be a little bit depressing. Statism is growing, and either side of the United States Demo-Publican Party, I think evil would be an appropriate term. What do you think? I mean, either way. Financial collapse. Well, we see what Jeff has been telling us with the dollar vigilante. It looks like that could happen, which, by the way, which is why you are in an excellent place right now to learn some of the best about the digital currencies that are out there. I mean, think about it. We got the brain power right here. Tuesday, I think it's Tuesday, we've got the digital cryptocurrency day. Think about that. You learning what you can do there to get beyond that financial collapse that's here, you'll be able to do a lot. And government privacy invasion, we've seen what's going on there in many areas. And yet, we need to look at the reality also that here's what's happening. Our contemporary buying reality is different. You might have heard this phrase before. If you keep on doing what you've already done, you'll get the same results. You'll keep on getting what you already got, get the same results, right? But that's not true. I thought about that because if you're in an environment where everything is changing, what brought you to the level of success you're enjoying right now is not necessarily going to take you to the success in the future. You keep on doing what got you there, you could fall further and further behind. It's time for changing our mindset and looking at it differently. For instance, I was writing long ago about Blockbuster versus Netflix. And anyone remember Blockbuster? Remember that long ago? They had these things called, what was it, DVDs? And then even before that, anyone remember those ancient things called VHS tapes? I remember I wrote an article once in the papers. And I said, you know, we got to look at it, got to move beyond that, and we got to think differently. We got to think different, as Steve Jobs told us, and think differently. We have to do both. I got a call from someone who was, bless his heart, he was like 22 years old, working in a video rental store somewhere, and he was saying, Terry, I read your article, but we need to know what do we do to get people to rent more VHS tapes? I said, you're missing the point. The point is they don't want those anymore. They want something else. You have to change yourself. Look at what's happening now with taxis versus Uber, Lyft, Arcade City, etc. A whole new way of doing things. Amazon versus Walmart. I love it. I can sit there, and Gene and I in our place in Orlando, I can place an order, and within a few hours, they bring food to us right there. A few hours, same day. And it is amazing what they do. I see we can do it. And of course, there's a regular 2-day delivery, but it saves me from taking all my precious time, money, and energy and go over to a store to buy it, load the car up, then come back here again. You know, how 20th century. Instead, let's do things differently. And we're saying, how many of you used Airbnb? Use that? Yeah, I've used it a few places. I was up in New York. Matter of fact, when I was seeing Ross in New York and attending that meeting, I stared at an Airbnb, had a wonderful experience. It was great, and I would encourage you to look into the possibilities. Is it going to be perfect anywhere? No. Has anyone ever stayed in a hotel that wasn't good? Yeah? Oh, okay. Yeah, that happens, you know. So how many of you stayed in a hotel that was really good? Yeah, we've stayed there too. This is the way the world works. But careful. Not everything is available. Dr. Google might not necessarily be as good as a real medical professional. Sometimes you need to make sure you've got the real person there. So here's some of the things that we're going to look at today in our world. There's more acceptance of individual liberty. Look at what's happening in the United States. 20 years ago, if I would have told you there were going to be many states in the United States with marijuana legalization, you'd laugh at me. Now we're seeing marriage equality, law of the land. We're also seeing the rise of cryptocurrencies, and it's being embraced even by the statists. They want to try to control it. Lots of luck. Okay, the blockchain is strong. The blockchain is not going away. It's going to be there very, very strong. It was interesting. I just got a call 2 days ago when we were here from a speakers bureau I work with up in Mexico City. They want me to come and speak to their group about what's going on with the blockchain, how it's worked. And this is not with a free market organization. This is mainstream people that are saying, where are we going with the blockchain? What's happening with it? I see that as a very positive sign of what's happening. And the internet speed's getting faster and faster. I'm looking for the speed that we can get when it's 999 terabits down and up. We're not there yet, but that's what I'm waiting for someday. And increased international possibilities. I've found that I've learned a great deal just by traveling internationally. And look at this, where you are. Anarchapulco 2017. Third year, biggest yet, is not just a dream, it's a reality. That says something about where we are. Here's another thing. Just a couple of days ago, I was at CES out in Las Vegas representing our papers. I go in as a reporter and I get a chance to see all these cool new things that are going on, and I was there like 175,000 of my closest friends. This was a demonstration they wanted me to come see from the IRTI, the Institute of Research and Technology Industry. This is from Taiwan. It is a government agency, but they wanted to show me what was being done with technology. This is what's happening. They said, come watch the robot that is serving coffee and playing chess. And when I looked at that, I couldn't believe it. They would bring in people like this gentleman here. He would select what he's going to do. Notice they put down the cup there. He didn't want any coffee, so he didn't do it, but the robot would pour coffee for him. And then the robot, using the visualization, notice the helmet there, would then examine what to do, reach over, grab the piece, make the move like this, move it over, and all of that controlled through the helmet, playing the human beings who one after another were defeated by the robot. Right there. This is reality. If this is taking place with chess, why do we need a human being going back to the assembly line like in the 1930s and putting a part into a car all day long doing that? We've got robots doing it now. They're going to do even more. This is where we are. These robots here were being demonstrated by the Taiwanese government as ways that they can take care of the elderly, ways that they can take care of the handicapped, being able to set the meal, prepare the meal, etc. A lot of good things happening there. I think how many of you listen to Joe Rogan? Joe Rogan, I love this quote of his. Law is a bunch of words written on paper by people who are generally considered to be liars and thieves. So let's try to figure out what's right rather than what's legal. What do you say? And we've got the opportunity to do it right now. We've got the opportunity to do it. Whoops, I hit the wrong button there. We've got the opportunity to do it by using the technology. Think about this for a moment. Let me take you back in time for a moment. Suppose you had been a maker of buggy whips, and your daddy was before you, and your granddaddy before him. They were all you made some of the best buggy whips anywhere. And now they're coming out with this new thing called a horse and carriage. You used to be right at home with this. Now this horse and carriage is going to change your life. They don't need buggy whips anymore. Eventually they're going to be displaced. What do? How do you adapt to that? You can feel bad that you're going to lose your job, or you can say, wait a minute. Okay, what new things are going to happen? What new things are going on right now? What new things are going to change, and where opportunities? Are they going to use leather making in these new cars? Oh, yeah. And I guess they're going to need more than just buggy whips. They're going to need other things. Every time there's change, there's new opportunities. The opportunities are going to be even greater and give us more possibilities. So I want you to think new opportunities versus this is what we've always done. Look at the options that are out there. Don't regret what you didn't do. Some people have done that. Those were the droids we were looking for. And you don't want to be in that situation. Instead, you want to look at opportunities, because right now, more than ever, you can live a life of being what Gina and I called GI, geographically independent. You don't have to be tied into one particular piece of dirt that a few people many, many years ago, maybe centuries ago, drew lines in the sand and said, this is going to be our piece of dirt, and you're over here on your piece of dirt, and we're going to fight them because, well, whatever. Instead, you learn to take advantage of that and live the life you want. As we say in business school, ease of entry and exit barriers. Easy to get into something, easy to get back out of it. Right now, I see people all the time that are going, what am I going to do about this, or what am I going to do about that? And I share, hey, do you kind of like computers? Yeah. Do you think you could learn programming? Well, yeah. Do you know that there are many jobs right now that are wide open? They can't find the workers for them. If you could devote yourself to 6 months or so of really direct study and learning PHP, Python, Ruby on Rails, there's job offerings right now that are screaming for people paying $200,000, $250,000 US a year. Not too bad. You know, would it be worth 6 months' time learning that? Now, you might lose your factory job. Yeah, okay, but you might like the other one better. You might not make buggy whips, but you might use that skill of working with leather in some other way. That's where we are today. International support is now greater than ever. Look around you. You've got people here from all over the world. Many different countries. I don't think we've ever done a toll, but it'd be fun to find out how many countries are represented here. You know, where are we from? And get to know each other. Because now I know, for instance, if I head over to Sweden, I want to see my buddy Rick. We're going to get together. We're going to have some wonderful brews and figure out ways we can help each other. How can we make some money? How can we work together? I do this regularly around the world. Become a key influencer. This is important. Circle this one and red flag it. Write that down. You want to become a key influencer in an important area. Something that people say, oh, you can do that? How much would you charge us to do what you're doing there over here in our office? They'll pay you money. Focus on where you can get value to them. These options include things like you being a publisher. That's what we are today. Think of video, and I want to show you some heavy, real advanced stuff with video today. Writing. I've been a journalist since I was a little kid, doing all kinds of things in writing. Actually, it was funny. Those that know me, I talked about this on my Facebook Live a little while ago. On January 20th, 1973, I covered Richard Nixon's inauguration. I was 16 years old at that time, do the math. And I was able to go there. The paper I worked for liked what I did. They sent me and I covered it. It was interesting to see that. And it was quite a surprise, freezing cold too that day. But learn writing, learn these skills. It'll be very important. Coaching is another thing that is international. You learn how to do something and help people, you can do it. And you can use tools like Skype, like Zoom, Google Hangouts, and many, many others that are out there as well. Digital currency, get to know that. The more you can invest your brain power in that, the better off you'll be. And there's a host of other options like that. So here's what I would recommend you do. Get the skills, work like hell, working both smart and hard. People debate that all the time. Everyone that I know that has been enormously successful does both. They're doing what they can to be smart about it, not doing stupid things that somebody else could do, but they're also putting in the hours and making it work. Focus on the benefit to them, their benefit. Not what you can do, not what's going to make you feel good, but what can you do to help others solve their problems. I remember I had a chance a while back to speak for a group in Wisconsin. It was Wisconsin Bankers Association, and they had me booked for a program. It was in Appleton, Wisconsin. Anyone know where that is? Yeah, Appleton, Wisconsin. It's right near a place called Green Bay. I think they have something to do with football up there. You know, and so they was there in Appleton, and I called them up the day before I left, making sure everything's okay. And they say, "Oh yeah, by the way, Terry, we changed our minds recently. We were going to do it. Now we're going to have a football theme." I thought, okay, that sounds fine. They said we're going to meet at the Vince Lombardi restaurant. They're in Appleton. I thought, oh, okay, well, that's fine. And they said, can you join us for that? I said, sure, I'll be glad to be there. So I hung up, and then I got to thinking, wait a minute, Vince Lombardi. I know Vince Lombardi Jr. Vince Lombardi Jr. is a member of the National Speakers Association. I'm a member of that. And I thought, I haven't seen him in a little while, but I wonder, he lived in Seattle at that time. I wonder if I could get him to just say a few words and say hello to everybody. If he do it, well, no, he wouldn't do that. No, he'd never want to talk. Well, wait a minute, maybe I should. No, he wouldn't do that. You ever have one of those arguments in your head? You know, one side's going yes, the other guy's going no. Yeah, like that. You're going, hey, on this side, on that side, all that. Yeah, you can relate to it. I just said, Terry, do it. I called, picked up the phone, looked up his number in the directory there, got it, punched it in, 206 area code up there in Seattle. And he answers, hello, this is Vince. I go, Vince, this is Terry Brock in Orlando. He goes, well, Terry, how you doing? Good to hear from you. And I said, well, hey, I'm doing fine, etc. And by the way, I'm going to be speaking tomorrow in Appleton, Wisconsin. And we're going to have, he says, oh, and he right up to me and said, oh, I hope you're going to my restaurant there. I said, well, yes, we are. It's the Vince Lombardi restaurant. That's yours? He goes, yeah, of course it is. And I decorated everything. I said, well, hey, would you mind doing something for me? I'd love to get a quote from you that I could share with the people in Wisconsin about your father or something, whatever you might want to say. He said, Terry, I'll be glad to do that. And he said something that I'll never forget. And I said, okay, Vince, ready? I'm recording now. Started recording. And he said, you know, hello, all you Wisconsin bankers, hope you're doing well, etc. You know, when people ask me about my father, they often say they remember winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. But when I think of my father, I think of what he said about the importance of being willing to pay the price. You've got to pay the price. The game is won on those cold, rainy days when you get out there and work extra hard. You get out there and you pay the price. You run the extra laps. You do what is necessary. I thought, wow, thank you, Vince. We can really use it. Well, they loved it. And then it hit me. That's so true in many areas. You've got to be willing to pay the price. Lots of people dream of the vision. They dream of, okay, we can do this. It'll be great. But they never pay the price and do it. Here's a person I talked with a while back, CEO of CrowdPlat. The job security that came after the Industrial Revolution is now replaced by the opportunities of the freelance revolution. It's a new way of thinking, a way of thinking that is a little bit different than what we've done before. I like to call it the power of thinking not yet. You might have remembered from the movie Matrix. How many of you seen The Matrix? You know what I'm talking about? Oh, okay, most of I mean the first one, not the second and third. They weren't that good. You know, they really were. It was the first one that was really good. And there was that scene where they were fighting the bad guys. The bad guys were dressed up like 20th century soldiers, and they were shooting at each other and all that. And Trinity and Neo were in there fighting and hitting them and knocking them, shooting them down and all that. And there was this helicopter off in the back going whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Well, they beat them all up and everything. And then he looked over at her and said, "Can you fly that thing?" And she looked back at him and said those immortal words, "Not yet." She jumped on her cell phone, her mobile phone, dialed in the numbers, called back to their headquarters to a guy called Tank. "Tank, I need a helicopter program for a B-212 helicopter. Hurry!" Okay, work with me. It was a science fiction movie. Come on. Yeah. And what they did, they downloaded the instructions through the cell phone into her brain, and she looked over at him and said, "Let's go." And they charged off and hopped in there. And well, for those of you that haven't seen the movie, I won't spoil it, but let's just say it was mighty handy to have that helicopter through the movie. They did a lot. But you know what she said? It hit me. That's the key to learning whatever you need to learn. Too many people hear about a new technology and they go, "Oh, I can't do it. Oh, I'm just not technology oriented. Oh, I'm terrible." And it gets your brain going in a negative way. But if you jump on the other extreme and you go, "Oh, I can do it. I'm going to jump on the chair, pump my fist in the air and say I can do it," like a rah-rah rally, you get back to the office and your brain goes, "Sit down and shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You can't do it." But those who are smart, when someone says, "Well, can you program in PHP? Can you program in Python?" They'll say, "Not yet." Not yet is realistic, but you're willing to pay the price. You're going to invest the time, the money, the energy. You're going to watch the YouTube videos. You're going to read the books. You're going to take the courses, enroll in the courses, maybe at a community college, maybe online, something like that. You're going to do what's necessary. You'll hire the coaches. You will part with your capital in order to get it. Ben Franklin said it very well, one of the founders of the United States, when he said, this is important, "Pour the coins of your purse into your mind, and your mind will overflow your purse with coins." Invest in your education. Invest in those areas that are going to be worthwhile in the marketplace. That's the key, and that's how you can get ahead. And then I love this quote from one of my favorite authors, unknown. "A bird sitting on a tree is never afraid of the branch breaking because her trust is not on the branch, but on its own wings." Believe in yourself. Develop the skills so that no matter what happens out there, no matter what they do to you, you're able to adapt and change and get around. That's the key. Some opportunities with that. Had a chance to talk with Doug Scribner right there. Doug, you're shooting video right now. That's you up there. Did a great job helping me with Bitcoin, showing me what to do. And we did a video for you, remember? And wrote about it in business journals, different places. Doug is a person, see this man? Doug, hold your hand up for a moment there. This is a man you want to get to know. You want to learn about Bitcoin, digital currency. He is a fabulous, wonderful human being. He's helped me and can help many others as well. In my lifestyle, I'm a one-person operation, basically. International, 37 countries and counting right now, all 50 states. And I say I'm living an amazing life, not to show you what I'm doing. What I'm doing is irrelevant. I want you to see what's possible. And I want you to think about what you can do and the possibilities. Here's something I did just a couple of days ago. How many of you have heard of the program, The Young Turks? Young Turks. They're very progressive. very aggressive progressive is what they've patented and they've said they are. They all sent me a note as a reporter going to CES, would you like to interview Cenk Uygur? And Cenk Uygur, can we put that back up there for a moment? Cenk Uygur, the guy on the left there, you see with me, he is a genius. We had an interview and I thought, now I know we're going to depart company on some areas, but we agree on a whole lot. We got to start where we agree. I've heard that from many speakers here. Instead of going immediately to the areas where we disagree, let's find the areas we agree. We had a 40-minute interview. You can see it online. We have had thousands of views on that one, people seeing it, because I got a chance to talk with him about the capitalist state, how crony capitalism is not good, the corruption of the media, and how they're very bad right now. He has grown his operation from nothing to being the #1 news outlet online, beating out CNN, Fox News, CNBC, etc. So I asked him, how'd you do it? And in that interview, he says, this is what we did. You can benefit from that. Building your own community. Write that down. It's something that's out there on YouTube. It's on my channel. There's no charge for it. You just go there, you watch it, and you can see it. And learn what he did. Apply those principles. The other guy here was next to him. If we can bring the slide back up again. Dave Mandelbrot. Anyone heard of Indiegogo? Indiegogo? He's the CEO. I asked him, what works today? How do you do it? And so find people like that. Now, are these people anarchist libertarians? I don't think so. But we're going to find those areas where we agree. And we're going to build on top of that. This was just a few days ago. We also did our free Ross-a-thon that we've talked about. Here's some pictures from that. We made a decisive positive value benefit for the defense fund of Ross Ulbricht with the people there. And matter of fact, Tatiana Moroz over there on the bottom right, you'll see her and you'll hear her. Well, not right now, but in the other room, she's singing right now. She's got some albums out. She's got some things. She's a wonderful person. Look into that. We had a great time on the Ross-a-thon. Matter of fact, Jeffrey Tucker joined us. We had him here with us. We had Roger Ver joining us on this, and Roger Ver matched the funds dollar for dollar that we brought in. Wonderful man doing this for us. He was fabulous. Let's give him a round of applause to Roger. Is Roger here? Roger? I don't think he's in this session here. Gina and I were in Sydney a couple of times lately. We were able to be over there seeing. We did 11 programs throughout Sydney, around Australia. Here I got a chance to meet a marvelous man, George Foreman. He was just phenomenal. Getting a chance to know him just as a human being, one-on-one backstage and talking with him. Anyone recognize these two guys? Getting a chance to see them and hear what they're doing. Judge Andrew Napolitano and Steve Forbes, I introduced both of them. Getting a chance to see them. And I'm saying these are the kind of people you want to get to know. Find ways to make it happen. Make it happen to see and get to know the people that you want to get to know. Here we are in Dubai. That's me viewed from the tallest building in the world. That's the Burj Khalifa over in Dubai. If you haven't been there, you want to go to Dubai. Free market country, it's marvelous. They have a very reasonable tax rate over there. 0. I think 0 is reasonable when it comes to taxes, right? I'm not radical, I just want 0, that's all. I think it'll be fine. And Gina and I got a chance to go over to England, do that, and at home too. We enjoyed some wonderful vodka there, just relaxing, being at home. Here's Singapore, Gina over in Holland, and I take her to really exotic places like Detroit, Michigan. Woohoo! Yeah, we go all different places, but we go to Detroit, the vacation capital of America. Yes, indeed. Here, actually, we got a chance to be the guest of Dale Brown at his Threat Management Center. I would encourage all of you, if you have a chance, go visit him. He will teach you the mental ways to overcome problems and avoid violence and what to do to get out of violence if it comes. It is well worth the expenditure to do it. And Dale is just one marvelous person you want to get to know. Oh, of course, I went to Mount where the gods live over there at St. James Brewery in Dublin, and we got some Guinness. Here I was interviewed just recently with Pedro Ferez. He is Mexico's Charlie Rose on their nationwide radio and for the Financial Bloomberg. But here's the key. What you want to do is this, and what you want to learn how to do is become so good that they can't ignore you. Think about that. This is a quote from Steve Martin, and it's the title of a book that I want you to get. I'm not getting any commission for this. Just go to Amazon, order, cost you a couple coins. Cal Newport, become really good at what you do, and you want to fund your freedom. This is a program that we have where you get personal assessment, and you get a powerful social media strategy, insights from professional speaking, that might be something you want to do. Speaking is something that has helped me to propel my career, and it's something I would encourage you to explore. And also as a syndicated columnist. And as a matter of fact, what we've got, Gina's got some information here. People are asking about this, said, well, Terry, we want to get a way to get involved in this. So we printed off some things here to show you how you can do that. We've got an opportunity coming up Thursday as well with a class that begins then, but it's going to go for 4 weeks, giving you specific training and help on how to get ahead. If you're interested in that, there's some forms on how you can get involved with it. And we'll have even more. Another great book. Has anyone read this one called The Obstacle is the Way? About the Stoic philosophy? Write that down, please. You're going to thank me that you wrote this down and look into it. I love books. I find that when I get books that can change my life and can give me new insights, I gain a lot that way. You want to become a key person of influence. Here was an interview I had with Kevin Harrington. He's was on Shark Tank. He was a speaker at Freedom Fest, where I was the MC this last year, and he talked about key areas to get ahead. Key developments that you'll need. It's called Key Person of Influence. Write that down. You can get it for like $1.99 on Amazon. They change the price every so often. But for $1.99, investing in your brain power, it's a very good thing to do. Here's something that I want to share with you. And we go in depth on this in the course that I'm talking about. We used this when we wrote our book called Clout Matters. Just recently, Jen and I wrote a book published by McGraw-Hill. They came to us and said, write this. The key to success in social media today. I'm going to go over this real briefly. We go into it in depth more later. Engagement's at the top. Engage with people. Content creation is what you want to do. That's going to be compelling content. And then distribute it through your networks, etc. That's how it's done. And here's some technology tips. No charge, no sign-in required. I want to give to you. Write this down, and you can go there and get a whole list of 17 apps that I wrote about that can help you. It's that at bit.ly/, then in all caps, 17 apps_Terry Brock. So 17 apps _Terry Brock. That will be a site I want you to go to. It's going to give you some good information on applications that can be very helpful, that can help you to figure out how to get more done in less time. This is what we did at AT&T. When I worked with AT&T, we gave all kinds of information for free and ended up leading the team where I was editor-in-chief, putting it together. We did not push in a salesy way, but rather provided good quality information. That was the key. It resulted in some significant sales for AT&T. I did not do it all. There were many people on our team, but as editor-in-chief, we spearheaded it, and by sending out the right kind of content, we were able to generate over $3 billion, with a B, $3 billion of sales. So this is the kind of thing that is available today, but the key is using that technology to build and maintain relationships. Use the technology. One of the key technologies you can use, not just wishing for it, but working for it, will be TED Talk, but video. This is a key that I talk about in just a few minutes I have left. Now, David, how many minutes do we have left? About 5 minutes left? Okay, 5 minutes left. Video is really important. I like to say, I remember I was in St. Petersburg, Russia a little while ago, and I saw a sign there on Nevsky Prospect. It's the main drag there in St. Petersburg. The sign said, vodka. It's not just for breakfast anymore. I thought, okay, that sounds pretty reasonable. Well, video is not just for TV. Now it's for video conferencing and live video. And here's what I want to do. Zoom in on this for you. Zoom in. Write these down. These are some of the critical tools that will give you a competitive advantage today. Facebook Live, I don't have that on. Well, I got a little bit of that there. You'll see on there, Facebook, look in the upper left corner. Blue jeans for Facebook Live. This is a tool where you can bring in, notice they've got like 9 people on the screen. You can share screen so that you can create value in those areas that you know best. I'm doing this now. When I was out at CES just a couple days ago, it was amazing. Person after company after organization said they were using Facebook Live and getting tremendous results with it. That gets my attention. When the marketplace says that, even in my non-scientific random sampling, it's good. That and Zoom. Skype is really good. I was, some of you know, I was a chief enterprise blogger with Skype, worked with them, did a lot of things, and I love Skype, but Zoom, a couple of notches ahead. It's even ahead. There's our 5 minutes. By the way, hold that up again. Everyone took it around and take a look at David. This is what we've been showing the folks all the time. You seen that? Real good thing. Let's give him a hand for the work that he's doing, too. He's helping me out enormously. Thank you. Thank you. 5 minutes. And by the way, if I'm speaking, who's going to come on stage and give? Oh, Gina would do that, right? She could do it. These are tools. By the way, I'm giving you some of the latest cutting edge stuff right now that can put some money in your pocket. Zoom, Skype, Google Hangouts, by the way, the one in the lower left corner there. Google Hangouts, and now it works with YouTube. That's the tool we use for the free Ross-a-thon. You can use that kind of tool in a number of different ways. Look into it. It is a money maker for you. And it's something you can do for, well, let's see, for free, which is nice. Here's what we did, some of the ways that I put it together and talked about it. And the options here that you have, again, Skype, Blue Jeans, Google Hangouts, which is earlier, and now they've morphed over into YouTube, and Zoom. These are examples of the kind of applications that are available. I wish I had more time with you, but then that's why we've got a course. If it's right for you, in your schedule and with you right now, that's something I would encourage you to look into. We're going to be doing a 4-week course helping people to really get down and dirty. And I'm doing it differently. A lot of courses like to say, here's the material, you just get that. I'm going to build in a pre-program analysis where we sit down and do an assessment of what you're doing in confidence, just between us. Look at what you're doing and the goals you want to achieve, then help you do it. Lay out a strategy and then do an assessment at the end of that 4 weeks. How you doing? What more do you need and how you're going to put that together? It's a $2,000 course. It's normally offered for $1,000. I want a lot of people to do it, but for today, we said we're going to do it for $495. I just wanted to give a ridiculously low price so that you can get in there and do it. Well, we've got just, how much time do we have? Do we have even like 1 minute, 3 minutes left? 3 minutes time. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm breaking out of my keynote slide presentation. I want to open it up for any questions you've got that might have sparked in your mind, anything I can do to help you out as we go. We got 2 minutes left. Got a couple of minutes on that. Excellent. Yes, sir. We got a question right up front here, and hang on till we get the microphone there. And what is your name?
Hi, I'm Marcel.
Marcel.
Why are these live streaming things so important now?
Oh, good question.
Like
Marcel asked, why is
yeah.
it so important? There's the excitement and the energy of it's live. Right now, it's like a football game. You know, why do people watch sports games live? It's because there's the excitement of it. And now you're able to do that with tools like Facebook Live, and there's others that do it as well. But Facebook is the biggest one. When you can do that, and particularly, Gina's doing this with a lot of her weight loss programs, where she'll say, I'm going to be on at noon Eastern time this coming Tuesday, or today at noon, we're going to be there. And people go, oh, you're going to be talking about that? And with Blue Jeans and with Zoom, you can bring in guests. We can say, my guest today is going to be Dr. Mary Smith. She's an expert on oodly boodlies, and we're going to have her on talking about this. Or you could have Dr. Mary Smith and Dr. Jane Johnson, and they might have different opinions on something, and you bring them in using a tool like Blue Jeans, which is a great little way to do it. The live gives the energy and the excitement.
There you go, to your right. 2 minutes left.
Yes, and what's your name?
Yeah, so what if you're a person that doesn't have an online presence whatsoever? Is this a course that would help somebody to develop a business?
Yes, it starts with wherever you are. And so if you say, gee, I don't have anything online right now, I go, good, welcome aboard. Because what we'll do is look at what you want to accomplish first. Tools are great, but the most important thing is to look at what you want to do. So what's the best tool? Would it be better for you to be on Pinterest or Facebook or maybe LinkedIn? Or it all depends. And so you want to look at what's right for you. And so you do not have to be on there. Zero knowledge of it would qualify you to be aboard, because it's going to be customized there. All right, any other questions? Because I know we're running out of time right now. What do we have? Are we at the stop, or 1 minute or thing?
We got one last question
here.
About 60 seconds left here.
As you run. David, you're getting your exercise in today. I like it. And man, what is your name?
My name is Ken. So there's a lot of free stuff you can offer, and then where's the line? Like, you're gonna monetize, or that's just the free for the people? You know,
Oh, you just asked a real good question about free versus a monetization
Yeah,
of
I mean,
it.
at some point you have to monetize it.
Yes, exactly. How many of you run into that problem before? Free versus paid? You know, where do we stop and how much you get? I err on the side of giving so much free. That's okay. I think that what you do is you give a lot of good information that people lean forward, particularly as you're getting started. Give a lot of free, and then the freemium material will get out there. People like it, and then they're willing to move up to the premium. The idea is that we go, wow, all this stuff and it's for free? Well, then what are they going to give when it's paid? And what you want to do is make sure you give lots of content. Do the research to find out what people are looking for. What's your area of expertise? Oh, I'm asking you a question. I forgot about the bike.
I do design, I do art, I do business.
Oh, in art, in business?
Business, yeah.
Yeah, so I would want to find out those things that people are looking for and the kind of questions they have. Develop lots of material with video interviews. That's a great way to do it. It's easy, it's powerful, and you can do it, and then transcribe it. You get it transcribed. Now you've got an ebook, and then pull out the audio and it goes into your podcast. Give a lot of that, and then have a course similar to what we've got here. You have that goes even more in depth, and that way people go, wow, I liked what you said on your podcast. I liked your YouTube channel. Now I want to buy something from you.
Like teaching people to like, they are really interesting kind of.
Yeah, teaching people to write, teaching people to do what's important to them. But I'd love to talk with you about that more. I wish I had more time, but wow, wonderful. And to be here, I want to thank Nathan and Jeff for making it possible that I could actually speak to you and help me. And I'm going to be here the rest of the time, so if you got some questions, come on aboard and ask questions. Thanks so much for being here.
In a world where Antifa riots in the city streets, cops rage out of control, and the leader of the free world is a fat-ass casino owner, one event stands alone to make anarchy great again.
I actually love humanity. That is why I'm an anarchist.
Backwards in the building like we the ceiling, we illin'. No matter who find it appealing, I'm here and I got a feeling that we'll be dealing a lot of pain where the penicillin get drilled in your head. That we are monsters and yeah, we come from the slums, and for months we've been pumped, but for once I am now comfortable. I want to grow, I want some more success, and I want to know that greatness can't be rushed, can't be less, so face the bus. Feel free to hate on us, we lace them up. Dudes, we done paid them up. Keep snakes away from us and safe from us, you might wanna be. Remember when clowns used to make fun of me and that they wanna be me, see me and they run at me. I'm gonna be the greatest, yeah I wanna be, but I am not the one to be the fakest for the sake of being played. I'm here, like I never left, said to hell. Nah, cause I can't just fail, so just prepare your ears, it'll get for real. From here, we will never go to sell, it's grind time. My mind and my thoughts, my highs and my faults, my wins and my loss. When will I fall off? It's a test for me. You are now listening to Veracity. Yeah.
Fuck the media, fuck the banks, fuck drone strikes, fuck tanks, fuck hunger, fuck war, fuck ignoring of the poor, fuck the left, fuck the right, fuck the government. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.